I had to say something on Sufism. Sufism is the mystical side of Islam. It is an attempt to control the basic elements in man, the basic temptations in man, like wickedness, hatred, envy, jealousy, falsehood, and so on. It is an ascension to a higher level through divine knowledge. It is an experiment with reality. What is God? What is life? What is man? Man has two types of knowledge. One is absolute knowledge, the other is relative knowledge. What we get through observation, experimentation, verification and generalization is all relative knowledge. But beyond relative knowledge, there is intuitive knowledge. Man lives on 5 different levels: physical level, mental level, moral level, aesthetic level, and the highest is the spiritual level. The attempt to reach the highest level is Sufism. It is to gain the experience of God. God is absolute truth, God is light, God is joy, God is radiance, God is supreme, God is sublime. He is the creator, He is the mover, He is the designer. He has breathed His soul into man. And Sufism believes that God lives in man. That is his conscience. You kindle the conscience, the torch of learning, then you would know the responsibility you owe to the society. Therefore, Sufism has got two very fundamental and revolutionary aspects. One is the love of God, the second is love of man, service to man. Beyond the realm of death, beyond the flight of time, there is a celestial world of peace and joy. But admission into that world of peace and joy restricted only to those who carry the casket of the soul in its pristine purity. Sufism all carrying the casket of human soul in its purest, and it should not. A Sufi must have a guide. There is a training for it. There is a technique for it. It is called Pir or Murshad, a guru or a teacher. He will teach you how to go about. First he will say that you obey, renounce the world, abstinence, contemplation, love of God, trust of God, satisfaction of God. They are all the first stages. In Sufism there are states, stations, stages. Each has got ever so many concepts to do. It is like you have to pass through pre-primary to primary, from primary to high school, from high school to pre-degree, from degree to degree, and then to postgraduate. Likewise, every time you pass through ever so many stages to graduate yourself in order to become a Sufi. Sufism is becoming a perfect man, losing himself. We have in Mysticism only 2 persons who declared that we have reached that level. One is called Mansur Hallaj. Mansur Hallaj reached a stage, he said, I am God. When he said that, I am he whom I love is I. I become that which I love becomes mine. There are 2 spirits in one body. To see me is to see God. To see God is to see me. It is a unity stage where he declares that I have experienced God. But that Hallaj was not tolerated. They say, no one say that I am God, therefore I have put to death. He was executed, kind of a thing. There is another man called Bayezid Bustami. He was also a person who attained this stage, but people pardon him. He has gone mad. Leave him alone. Therefore, these are the 2 persons. Sufism is a great stage. I said that you have to pass through states. The first stage is repentance, renunciation, abstinence, love, trust, satisfaction. In the second stage, you go to meditation. You go to love. you got to trust, you got to love knowledge, you got tranquility, you got a kind of certainty. The reaching the stage of certainty is the last stage. Then there are stations also. Just as you have to go to Delhi from Mysore, you have to pass to Bangalore and Chennai and Bombay and so on. Likewise in Sufism also, there were so many stations you have to pass. The first station is intellect, God's lay. That is, God is light. This is absolute light. This light is infinite light. This light is undefinable light. This light is self-manifestation light. And this highest absolute is the whole universe. But there is a relative light also, a distant ray of that absolute light is man's mind, man's intellect. This man's intellect has now so much grown that man has landed on the moon, sweeping the floor of the ocean, reviving a collapsing heart, splitting the atom, and so on. So it's all because God. They say that religion makes man a partner of God. To become a partner of God, to become a mystic. And mysticism is I'll give an example how man could become a partner of God. If God created the night, man lit a lamp and then removed the darkness as well. If God created mud and sand and stone, man made a beautiful glass out of that. If God created a jungle, a forest, man made a beautiful garden out of that. If God created poison, man made that a medicine, as if in a smallpox, the remedy is this, the smallpox remedy is the polluted smallpox material itself. Therefore, man becomes a partner. But then he has also to learn in the mysticism that means everything in the whole world is not for the self, it is for something else. If light is there, light burns itself, gives light to others. If a tree is there, a tree does not deny shade even to a woodcutter. If a cow is there, the cow grazes the grass and gives white milk to others. A cow has got in one side the waste, the other side the milk. Likewise, the deer has got on one side the waste and the other side musk, beautiful fragrance and so on. Therefore, God's creativity is limitless. Sufism says that you also serve man, you serve man. Therefore, I just said what Sufism says. Sufism was the historical result. Islam spread all over. They became politically very powerful. In politics, authority and then control, fighting, war, conquest, and so on. Therefore, a section of the society did not like this kind of political aggressiveness. They withdrew to the forest and they became Sufis or mystics, and they had a very control. Even during the Abbasid times, the rulers used to consult the Sufis for several things. They had a great past. They did a lot of service to mankind to prevent from the material life of man. And then they did a lot of service of propagation of truth.